I read a study that said, and I might get these a little wrong, but I promise I'm not exaggerating. If you smoke cannabis chronically, which they define as, I think, more than 2 or 3 times per week, that's chronically smoking. And like, if I'm smoking weed, I'm smoking it multiple times a day. It's not like just 2 or 3 times a week kind of thing.
That's how I did it.
So if you're apparently for men under the age of 25, if you're smoking chronically, it like increases your risk of psychosis, like late state or like later in life psychosis, like an emergence of some kind of psychosis by like 90%.
No way.
And so it's like, and it's more detrimental to men for whatever reason. It could just be the way the study was, or it just could be men's psychology. But for whatever reason, it really is dangerous for men under 25 to smoke chronically. And that's when I smoke the most weed. And so there is a little bit of paranoia, like by the time I'm 40 and stuff, and like, will I develop some form of psychosis? Typically, it's like depression or like severe depression, or schizophrenia is a very common one. Yeah.
I'm 46. I can report that all's good up until till now. But
yeah.
I've smoked it at that frequency, even in my older age.
Yeah.
But so the study says up until 25, you can have these really extreme later life consequences.
Yeah. And I imagine I don't think they know the mechanism of action quite yet, but I imagine that it has something to do with like men's prefrontal cortex doesn't stop developing till then. And like for women, I think typically it matures earlier. And I think we can see that in society. It's pretty clear. Like men typically like that the critical thinking doesn't really start kicking in until
46.
Yeah, no, really like 25, and then you start developing it over time. And so I think that it has something to do with the really early development. And I feel like that's the center that it activates the most when you're under the influence of psychedelics is that prefrontal cortex, the reasoning and logic kind of section of your brain.